My name is Gabriel Odhiambo from Nairobi, Kenya, in Africa. I'm the country coordinator for Africa Youth Leadership Forum, that is for the Kenyan chapter. Africa Youth Leadership Forum is a movement that works with student leaders in various universities in Kenya. In Kenya, we are present currently in about 24 universities where we seek to reach out to students at a young age to try building them the culture of good leadership and good morals and values. We try to work with them in small groups and capacities on their capacity in their campus, in small groups, put them in various small groups, and work the journey of leadership and journey of life and journey of growth with them. Our main desire is that at the end of the day, we'll have leaders who really are followers of Jesus, who are looking out to live out the teachings of Jesus. And again, we seek out to look for leaders who will be genuine leaders, who will add values in the lives of the people they lead, in their communities, leaders who will transform their communities for better, leaders who will add value to their families and in every space that they find themselves. And again, we acknowledge that leadership sometimes can be very lonely, or sometimes a desire to do something, you might end up being lonely. And so we try to build a community of friendship around these young people, let them realize that they have to build intentional leadership among themselves with their peers. They can hold each other accountable, be able to ask each other difficult questions, and be able just to pour into each other and grow each other. And that's what we've been doing in AYLF. And we are present in about 7 countries in the region. And so in Kenya, we've been present since 2008, and we continue to do that which we believe God has put in our hearts to do. What would happen if we do our Rome here in Africa and target young leaders from across the region, from Kenya and the countries around the region, and bring them together for a period, be it 3 weeks or 10 days or 2 weeks, but bring them together for a period of immersion where these young leaders, target maybe about 30 young leaders, where these young leaders will be immersed in a process of learning how to be intentional followers of Jesus. Leaders will go out into the various communities and bring transformation, be agents of change, as some people might call it, change makers in their communities, and be people that can be counted on, who will be counted on and will know how to follow Jesus, what it means to serve people, what it means to reconcile relationships, what it means to intentionally build communities of growth, communities that people will want to be part of. And so that's what I thought maybe we could do here, and I hope we can do this sometime next year in August. We are still on the initial stages of thinking through this, so nothing really formed up yet, but it's our desire that we can do this in Africa, to give the young leaders in Africa an opportunity to be able to experience all this conversation that happens around Rome. By the end of that time that they spend together, they'll be able to come to a point where first they understand themselves, in a journey of understanding themselves as young leaders, in a journey of each of them hopefully shall have committed to a journey of being an agent, a change agent in their communities, a journey of being, when they go back to their spaces of work, because you're targeting a group of guys who either shall have finished campus and are transitioning through life, or maybe still in university and are still in this stage of discovering what it is they want to spend their time or their life in. And so hopefully by the end of this time, this journey of self-discovery, this journey of discovering what it is that God shall have laid in their heart in a way that they should go out there and serve their communities, hopefully it will be a bit more clearer by the time they leave, that when they go back to their circles of influence, be it those who will probably be working or doing their own stuff or just going back to school, they'll go back a different person in terms of able to see themselves not just as a mere human being who's just supposed to live and do what they want to do, but someone who will be very intentional about their life, about the kind of impact they want to bring in community, about the kind of a person they want to be seen as, a father, as a mother, as a leader, whatever it is. And so one of the key things that we push under this family of friend circle is to have people who are able to think like Jesus, act like Jesus, love like Jesus, and just talk like Jesus. And so if we can have that DNA in them where they can be able to have that thinking and ask themselves, care for the least of this in the community, because those are the people that Jesus cared about. How do they care for the least of this in their various communities? How do they serve? How do they love their neighbor as they love themselves? What does it mean to get into the community and serve with humility? What does it mean to get into your circle of influence and be the person that God wants you to be? So hopefully that can be more clearer by the time this gathering shall have ended, and hopefully we can do it more and more every year, and do it every year, and have a critical mass of young leaders who will slowly grow and build themselves as people who are out to represent change in their societies. So this being the first time we're doing this, with no experience totally, having done this before, and of course having not even gotten a chance to attend the Rome one, so clearly I have no experience in doing this. And so what I'm asking for is that you guys should become helpful in building this, in starting this out there, and you'd come and help even facilitate and help us come with a structure, because of course we're still at the point where we're wondering, how do you keep people for 3 weeks in one place? And so we'd like to learn from you. We'd like you guys to help us shape a program, help us speak into the facilitation of how does this work from day one to the last day. What are some of the mistakes that maybe you guys have made that probably we can avoid? What are some of the things that we should not ignore, that we need to pay attention to? And so those are some of the areas we'd like your help with. And of course, just being able to be present and be on the ground and witness what is going on, and of course contribute in terms of your ideas, in terms of your experience, in terms of your learnings, so that at least we can learn from you and do something way better than we could have done without you guys. So that's what we hope you guys can help us as we walk this journey together.